Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Say It with Kevin Walker. Of course, I am Kevin Walker, and yo, we're gonna have some fun tonight. Look, so I always script the show, and I scripted it again tonight. Um, but what I want to also do is be interactive with all the people who, from week to week, watch the show, who shoot me questions after the show is off. I want to be interactive with those people, and we're gonna do that tonight. We're gonna be interactive with people, and we're gonna have fun at the same time. So look. First and foremost, what I want to do before I even get going, before I really even get started. Wow. Before I really even get started, is I want to personally thank everyone who came out to celebrate my birthday with me. Our party was March 19th. Hey, if you missed it, I ain't gonna lie to you. You really kind of sort of missed the party of the year. Like, I want to see somebody come together, put your egos aside, and do what we did. Because, hey, look, we had a great day. And then on top of what we did, with Angie being the only female that was involved with us, Angela Butler Henry, she was the only female involved with us. We kind of put her up front, being a woman, ladies first. But we had a great time. We had a really, really, really good time, man. Let me tell you something. From people that I had affiliated myself with in youth sports, of course, my Sterling Raider family. That's crazy. Like, I don't care what high school you went to at. Like, nobody supports their own like the Sterling Raiders. Like, for real, for real. Like, I was proud that day again to call myself a Sterling Raider, because Angie and myself literally uh, packed the building with Raiders. We packed the building with Raiders, and we couldn't have did it without you guys saying, "Hey, look, we supporting y'all 110. We're gonna be there. I'm in." I'd hit up people and they'd be like, "Well, yeah, Angie, had already hit me or whatever, whatever." But hey, man, thank y'all for coming out. Thank y'all for supporting that. So we're gonna do it again. We're gonna do it again. But look, tonight, hey cousin, what's up, Trisha? She said my grandson was born on my cousin's birthday. Hey, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. So look, it's a grown folks show tonight. So if you ain't grown, get your ass off of here. It's a grown folks show tonight. We're gonna have some grown folks conversation tonight. What gets you in the most trouble? Is it your mouth / your words, or is it your mind, your thoughts? And the reason why I say, is it your mind or your thoughts? People say, how can your thoughts get you in trouble? Because that's called emotions. People act on their emotions. They might not say what's wrong, but they're emotional about something and they act on it. You got a lot of motherfuckers locked up in jail right now for acting on their emotions. So what gets you in the most trouble? Is it your mouth / your words, or is it your thoughts / actions? So that's going to be one of the things we talk about. Why do people have issues with older men dating or marrying younger women? Let me pour me some tea. Why y'all got a problem with that? Why y'all got a problem with men wanting a younger woman? I know people who have traded in their wife for many years to go get them a young something. Hey, that's their prerogative. Ain't none of my business. That's why I got my tea in my Sterling blue cup. I can sip on my tea a little bit, y'all. So one of the final things we're going to also discuss tonight is, have you ever, and this is the one that's really, I think, going to stir up a lot of the conversation and emotions. Have you ever felt like Jesus or God, however you want to go, the trilogy, the Father, Son, the Holy Spirit? Have you ever felt like God failed you? Like God just abandoned you and left you in the moment for you to suffer and go through something? And that God or Jesus wasn't there for you in your toughest time? We'll talk about it tonight. We'll talk about it tonight. But the first thing we're going to talk about tonight is what gets you in trouble the most. Is it your mouth or is it your actions? For me, see, I think I've entered the zone of not being able to get in fucking trouble at all because I'm a grown ass man. What's up, Sam? What's up, Pam? Because I'm going to say what I feel. I'm going to say how I feel. And I think there's always a way to be discreet and not with the purpose or the intent of hurting anyone in the moment of you voicing your opinion. You can voice your opinion and get your point across respectfully. You can. Do we always do that? Hey, look, I invited people just to come hop in if they want to hop in. I ain't tripping tonight. What's up, KK? I ain't tripping. I'm just letting people jump in. I don't care how you want to come in. Jump your ass in here. Hey, KK.
Hey, what's going on?
Nothing much. So
What you talking about today?
So currently we're discussing right now what gets you in trouble the most. Is it your mouth or is it your thought/actions, meaning your emotions? Because people act on their emotions.
Okay, say it again. What's what?
Is it what you say that gets you in trouble or what you do that gets you in trouble the most?
My mouth gets me in so much trouble. I'm slick at the mouth. I'm real quick, and yeah, I don't have no filter, and so sometimes anything will liable to come out my mouth. So my mouth tends to get me into the most trouble, and then it follows the action because I'm only talk so much, and then after the talking, we got to step outside, earrings got to come off, and all that,
Okay. Yeah, I would say for me, like I was just explaining to everybody, I don't think for me either side of it really get me in trouble because I'm a grown ass man. I'm gonna say what I think. I'm gonna say what I feel. Hey, look, I ain't trying to step on your toes. I ain't trying to step on your parade, but I'm gonna express myself.
Yeah, I don't never bite my tongue. I never sugarcoat anything, and so a lot of people can't handle that, and I get in trouble a lot for it. I've ran, some people off behind my mouth, but I'm like, I'm not about to, worry about your feelings. You're not worried about mine. You didn't care how you made me feel. Well, I'm supposed to care about how you feel.
No, I agree. I totally agree. And that's why I said I don't hold my tongue. So I was dating a young lady, and she always made the comment, "Why are you so sensitive?" Well, I think a woman that feels as though a man is sensitive is not used to a man telling her what's on his mind or expressing how he feels in the moment. It doesn't make him sensitive. That means he gives a fuck about what you're saying or how you're trying to treat him or the situation you guys are involved in. See, a lot of times, and I explained it to her this way: niggas don't give a fuck enough about you to straighten your ass up because all they want to do is smash and pass and move on. So when you get a man that slows down enough to say, "Hey, man, you can't talk to me like that," or "You can't say this to me," or "You can't say that to me," like that ain't cool. And if you do, I'm just letting you know it's consequences and it's consequences for your word.
Right.
And not that a man gonna put his hands on you, but if that's how you feel like you can talk to me or talk about a man, then honestly, man, you really need to move around. The relationship we might be having or you might have thought we could have had, we can't have because I'm not gonna be disrespected. I'm not gonna disrespect you.
Yeah, I get it because I don't tolerate disrespect either. And so I'm a real firm believer in you treat others how you want to be treated. And you talk to people the way you want someone to talk to you. So if someone is coming at me sideways, then I'm quick to come back sideways, like, oh, wait, hold up, wait a minute now. That's not what we're about to do.
Mhm.
So I get it. So you don't have no argument for me with that. My mouth gets me in a lot of trouble.
Where your big head ass sister at?
I haven't seen my sister. I called her today to check on her, and we talked for a minute, but I hadn't seen her.
Is her dude in town? I ain't saying no names. I'm just.
I have no idea.
I'm a call. Well, I don't like calling this late, like after the show, because I don't want nobody to be thinking like, no, no, not
Well,
out.
he's not like that anyway. But I haven't seen her. We had like a little family meeting, a get together a couple of weeks ago, and I've seen her there, but I hadn't. Like I said, I called today and we talked briefly. She was at work. I was on a break. So,
So let me ask you this, and you might not be one that do, but have you ever in the moment, and of course this is strictly based on emotion, but have you ever in the moment felt like God or Jesus or the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, however you look at it, had abandoned you? Or have you ever been mad when something happened, you lost a loved one, and you just didn't understand why God would do this to you in that moment?
oh yeah, I mean, who hasn't been through that and questioned the reason why behind it? And we don't understand it at that moment, but yeah, of course. I mean, just like when we lost my mom last year, and when we found out that she had cancer, I wasn't thinking that was going to be my last year with my mom. I was thinking, oh, okay, she's just going to go get chemo, take her medicine, and she's going to be back home. I'm not thinking the worst. And so when it progressed the way it did so fast,
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think now I've had ample enough time to even think about it, because it was so much going on in my life at that moment, all at the same time that I was dealing with, that I didn't see that coming. It was just, for me, it was like, okay, I'm gonna take her to her chemo, she's gonna come home, and like it was nothing, because people go through chemo all the time and
Mm-hmm.
survive and live on for years. So I was not thinking that was going to be my last year with my mom. And when I tell you, she was diagnosed in October and she
Mm-hmm.
died October the next year. So, yeah, so I questioned that, like, why, and what happened and why it happened now. And, you know, it was hard. And um, I've had jobs before. As a matter of fact, I had started a new job right before she got sick with the diagnosis. And my mouth got me in trouble while I was in training for that job. And I got sent home, and I kept questioning, like, why? Because some people, they did lie on me or whatever, but I questioned it. And I realized that it was meant for me to be home, because the day that I came home from there, I was able to spend those last few months with my mom, because that was in April of last year. So I was off. Now that I'm unemployed, I was off. I was able to be at the house with her, helping her out, helping her with her patients, taking her to her appointments and whatnot. And then she died 7 months later. So it was like I kept questioning why did I lose this job, but now I realize it was meant I was meant to be home because had I not lost that job, I wouldn't have been home. I would have been gone because I would have been traveling.
Yeah, I just personally think for me, the only time I can honestly say that since I've been an adult that I can really remember questioning is when my daughter was murdered.
I'm sorry to
Um,
hear that. I didn't know that.
yeah, in August of 2018, August 12th, a day that'll live in infamy in the back of my mind forever. Um, so what I can tell parents is that in that moment, you go through a full gamut of emotions. You go through number one, being angry. Because when I first got the news, I was like confused. I was at a crawfish ball. I never forget. I was at a crawfish ball, and her little sister called and said, Kevin. I was like, yeah. She was like, just said it. Jay been shot. I was like, huh? She was like, yeah, Jay got shot. And I was like, what do you mean? I was confused because Jay shouldn't be shot. And so she went on to explain that what she knew at that point that had happened, but they were in the ER and she was in surgery. And I promise, okay, it was like I didn't remember my drive from that crawfish brawl to the hospital. It was like I blacked out in that moment during my drive. Like I don't remember anything about my drive. So when I got there, I'm like numb. I'm totally numb. Don't know what to feel. Don't know how to feel. Don't truly even know the details because remember now I said the little sister called me and she wasn't a baby, but she was a teenager. Um, so I didn't even truly know what I was walking into. So I got there. Of course, other family members is here. Her mom is there, and she's explaining to me what happened, what she knew at that point. Um, but yeah, you go from being confused to being numb. I literally felt like there was a hole in my chest, literally. So I went from feeling numb to now being angry. Why my baby? So from that anger, now you go and you graduate to sorrow and you're prayerful and you're just hoping that your child, your baby is going to be okay.
Right.
I knew we were in a dangerous place when the surgeon who was attempting to remove the bullets came out to talk to us, and his scrubs were speckled with her blood all over him. And so her mom said, can we go back and can I go see her? Can I talk to her? He was like, hey, look, let us clean her up for a minute because she just come out of surgery. It's a really rough surgical procedure. Let us get her cleaned up, and then we'll allow just you and the dad to come back and see her. So they got her cleaned up. We went back to see her, and they had her on a breathing tube, of course. I'm sure she was in a lot of pain. And I just remember telling her, like, you always fight for everything else. You better fight for this. Um, and that really was kind of just like the last conversation we had, or that I literally had with her. Um, just telling her to fight. Your baby is here, and if there's truly a silver lining, I had talked to her earlier that day, and I said, Jade, where's Tatum? And she said, Tatum wanted to go to her dad's house. So I called him, and he's coming to pick her up. So weeks later, after Jade had passed, and maybe even after her memorial service, he brought Tatum to the house. And was like, where's her car seat? You didn't bring her car seat. And he said, when I picked up Tatum that morning from Jade, she wasn't in her car. Her car wasn't at the house, but I got her. But the car seat was in the car when the car was shot up, and the car seat was riddled with bullets. So the blessing, if there is one, in me losing my daughter, is that my grandbaby could have been in that back seat in her car seat. Mm-hmm. So I just, I tell myself that God doesn't make mistakes. As angry as it makes me to have lost my daughter, I try and tell myself that God doesn't make mistakes.
Now, was this a random shooting or was it intentional?
Well, we found out later that the guy she was dating, who was a piece of shit, totally different from the baby daddy where she needed to be, but who am I? We found out later that he had broken into some Mexican dude's house and stole some weed. And all they knew is that that car was the car he's normally in, which was my daughter's car. And I'm assuming that when they saw the car, it was one of them on-site type things. They just went to shooting. He wasn't shot at all. She was shot one time, and that one bullet hit her in the head. But that was the only bullet that hit her, the one bullet. So supposedly, according to HPD, they found over 50 shell casings on scene where everything happened. So yesterday, I'm in Gringos. Me and Nicole, my cousin, we're in Gringos. We go to Gringos to get something to eat. I see a couple of kids and a parent that used to be cheerleaders for me, and she's like 26, 27 years old now. She come over, she talked to him, and we laugh. We have a good time being silly. So after about 20 minutes, 30 minutes go by, I tell Nicole, well, let me go tell them bye. Let me go let them know I'm finna go. So when I went back over to tell her bye, she was crying. So I asked her mom, I'm like, what happened in that short period of time when she just left from over there talking to me? Well, she grew up in the church with my daughter. She's been away at school, living in Oklahoma, living her best life. And she just broke down. She was like, Coach Kevin, I'm sorry. Like, I'm like, sorry for what? She was like, I miss Jade so much. She was such a big sister to me. Um, it's like just having to relive the moment over and over and over again. Like, it just every time there's a conversation, every time you see someone, it's like you relive mentally that situation of losing your baby, which really does make me angry as shit all over again. Um, so from what I understand, like the very probably a month after my daughter was murdered, the guy who did it was gunned down in his driveway.
Ooh.
So the way they found out is that they stopped the girlfriend on a routine traffic stop, smelled marijuana, searched the car, found the gun. So after they ran ballistics and did all of this, I'm sure it took some months. They threatened her with a charge, which made her tell that her boyfriend did it. But the boyfriend was dead now. So,
Wow.
yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. But that's my story on the only time I can honestly, as an adult, remember being angry with God when I lost my daughter. Other than that, I just feel like, hey, life is what it is. And situations aren't specific to me or you. Even with me losing my baby, I know that's not a situation that's specific to me. As you watch, these streets are crazy. We losing kids right and left. You just watch a female shoot up an elementary school. If
Yeah,
that ain't the craziest shit ever.
I know. I just saw that because I haven't watched the news and I don't know how long, and I saw that, and I just don't know what's going on with this generation of kids. Everything is so easy for them to either shoot somebody, kill somebody. I mean, back in the day when we were growing up, we had fights. We What was it called when you would be on the side of the school or building, y'all be ranking on each other,
Yeah.
stuff like that. You might have, I'm gonna get you at the bus stop type of thing, but nobody was stabbing and shooting and murdering. It was Now it's like the kids can't go outside, they can't walk in the neighborhood, they can't ride their bikes, you can't have sleepovers, you can't do nothing nowadays.
Yeah, even now, even with that, now they got fentanyl. And somehow these kids are getting their hands on it. And you got middle school and high school kids. I don't know how many elementary age kids, but you got middle school and high school kids dying from a chip. They've got fentanyl this big, like a little chip of fentanyl can kill you. And man, it just kind of it's crazy. Like,
Yeah, I was just having this conversation with Cameron because she's going off to college in the fall. And so my thing about my daughter is she has plenty of book sense, but that common sense is a whole another subject.
yeah,
And so we were having a conversation because she's starting to drive. We were having a conversation about what do you do if police officers stop you? What are you going to do? When you go off to school, and I worry about her because she strikes me as the child that you can easily influence. Oh, I'll get you something to drink. Here, drink this. And she'll, okay, I'm gonna drink it. And and not question what'd you get, what's in this drink, what you giving me. So we had that whole conversation today about going to school, knowing who are your friends and who are not your friends, that you can't trust everybody. Don't be drinking drinks that people hand you at the bar or the party. If somebody say, hey, let me go get you a drink, don't, no. Get your own stuff. You know, we didn't have to go through all that. And if we did, it was far and few between. But I mean, I actually had to have this conversation with my daughter today about drugs and
Yeah.
kids, and they're doing all kind of stuff I don't even know about. I'm like, what is that? What you do with that? But I don't know where they coming up with this crap from or where they getting it from, but it's too much.
Yeah, it's crazy. And you do have to have those conversations because my son is 23 now and he's in the Air Force. But so I bought him a car when he was like 16. So he got stopped. The officer said he was speeding. So he was like, yeah, he's going to say I was speeding. And I was like, okay, son. And he was like, yeah, I told him to show me where I was speeding. I was like, son, you can't do that. You can't do that. He was like, but I knew I wasn't speeding. Like he claimed I was going 80. Like I had just turned the corner. There's no way I was going 80. And my son literally did drive like a damn turtle. But yeah, man, you've got to teach etiquette. You've got to teach them the small things. You know, hey, just because everybody else smoking weed, don't you smoke it. And because number one, if you ain't roll it, you don't know what's in it. Make it make sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, you have to teach those small life lessons. If not, shit, unfortunately, they'll get rolled up and taught by the streets, and that's what we don't want.
When I was in school, I was that kid. You could not influence me and tell me to do nothing. I was the one, I was going to tell it. Don't do nothing illegal around me because if some cops come to ask and I'm telling on everybody. And so when I went to college, I had friends that dibble and dabbed in different things and they hung out with the wrong. I remember, I'm going to tell this story. I remember my roommates I had one time were dating these guys. And when I tell you these guys was some straight up thugs, took me over there. They had used my car and they picked me up from work. We went back over there. These guys had semi-automatic guns and weapons, and it was a side door that we went through, and it wasn't even a knob on the door. It was like um what you call it, bars and stuff. And I'm like, why is bars on the door? Why we can't go in through the regular door? Then we walk in. I was so green. Then we walk into the house and someone's cooking something on the stove and it's stinking. I'm like, what is that smell? Why these bitches had me up in the damn house when they was making crack and they was messing with drug dealers?
So
When
you
I found
so you was in the trap house.
Ooh, when I tell you, I must have acted a damn donkey. Oh, I did the fool. I went off on him. I was like, y'all know y'all got me effed up for real. Y'all know I don't do no shit like this. I was so hot. I was livid. And I remember they were so young and silly that they drove to like from Houston to like across state lines for this man with stuff in the car and stuffed animals and dropping it off to somebody all because he promised them I think $1,500 each or some crap like that. And I was like, y'all got me messed up, but you ain't doing no stupid shit like that. And I can't believe, I mean, luckily we're grown and stuff now and they learn. Of course, they don't do nothing like that now. But back then, the reckless, stupid shit that people did, I can't, I just can't believe it. But me, I was never like that.
So they want to know what school did you go to?
What, college or high school?
High school.
I went to North Shore High School.
Oh, so you and Rocky went to the same school.
Yeah, we grew up in Scenic Woods. So
Mhm.
I didn't go to middle school out there. I think Raquel did. And then we moved to North Shore area. So I went to Cunningham Elementary, no, Tice Elementary, Cunningham Middle School, and then to North Shore High School. So when I went to North Shore, It was mostly like white people, but all my friends were black. I had black and white friends. So when I went to college and then I went to Texas Southern, I was nothing around, a bunch of, black people all the time. But I wasn't used to a lot of stuff. Like I didn't go to clubs that were predominantly black, or like what was that club that everybody went to in what was it called? Gucci's?
Mm-hmm.
You remember? I couldn't stand places like that. I didn't go to places like that. So when I started hanging around people who were doing things, I was like, ugh, what's that? What they doing? They call me the bougie one. It's because I wasn't used to it. I didn't see it. It wasn't my environment and I didn't know what it was. So I was green on that matter. But I know about it now. But my poor daughter, I guess she get that from me because she clueless when it comes to stuff like that. So she the one I have to worry about.
Hey, they say, trust me, black people are cool.
I know we are. I'm just saying it's a shocker when you go from a predominantly white school and you have white friends and then you go to all black school. It was a shock for me.
Yeah, Laura say she didn't do Gucci's. That was a North Side club. So during the whole Gucci and rhinestone Wrangler epidemic, I was away in school. I was in college. When I came back home, everybody was back into Jamaica, and going to Caro's. And so by the time I got back to Houston just full term, that's what everybody doing. So normally for me, when I came home at Christmas, I was trying to fuck everything walking. So I really didn't have time to go to no club. I ain't gonna even lie to you. I was a hoe when I was young. Like, oh my God. Like, if I had to write a book or a list, oh my goodness.
And
But
see, I
yeah,
didn't do clubs. We went to the roller skating rink. We went to what Lockwood Skating Palace, Super Skate, and all that. Fondren, Great Skate. We did all that. But my first time going to a club was when I was in college, and it was what Jamaica, the Limelight, stuff like that. And then I started. I used to model back in the day, and a lot of the places that I would have to go were where older crowds were at. And so then I got a taste of like the older clubs where grown people would be at. So I didn't like the younger clubs where my friends were going. I wanted to go to the Wonder Bar and to Reggie's, anything that was like where people were two stepping, that's where I wanted to be. And I'm 19, 20, 21 years old. I didn't like young clubs. So I
so
didn't I didn't do
you like them old sugar daddy rubbing on your nipples, huh? Tell the truth.
no, no.
Come
I
on.
like to I like to dance and I didn't know how to. I think I stopped dancing when the prep was over, when that went out, when people stopped doing the prep and all that. I couldn't dance no more. So I knew how to two step. So that's what I like to do. So that's what old people were doing. The young people weren't doing that.
So you like that old sugar daddy?
I just like the older crowd. I just like the older crowd. I like dressing up. I liked going out. I like dancing. I didn't like going to the younger clubs where, people were fighting and carrying on and wearing blue jeans, shorts, and tennis shoes and stuff. I like to dress up. So I had a different crowd.
But let's be honest. You also like the fact that them older men was taking care of you when you was a little young chocolate something.
I didn't have no men taking care of me at all. I didn't even, I
Okay.
didn't even, I
Okay.
didn't, I did not.
We gonna pretend like nobody on here. It's just me and you having a conversation. Focus. Look, focus on me. Focus on me. So you saying them old sugar daddies, you a young tender. Right now, if you get a young girl that go in, what's the club where all the old cats go to over here? Red Rooster. Red Rooster. So you telling me you get a young chocolate tender like yourself walking in Red Rooster, them sugar daddies don't just be drooling at the mouth to buy you whatever you want from the bar and everything else.
I didn't say I didn't take no drink. Of course, back then, men bought drinks. Men ain't buying no drinks now. But back then, I know I never had to take any money in the club. Someone always offered to buy my drink, especially if you dance with them. But I wasn't going home with them. I wasn't giving my phone number out. It was strictly dancing. And
No, I
that's
just
all.
thinking about sex. I'm just saying they took care of you.
So no, I didn't have no sugar daddy per se, but no, I didn't have to pay to get in, or I didn't have to buy my drinks when I went out.
Ron say, Ron say, man, I took my wife in there and them old men were all over her. I was like, damn.
Yes.
Felicia said they still buying drinks. Oh yeah, they still buying drinks.
Where? Where they at? The Red Rooster? I gotta go back to the Red Rooster to get a drink. Cause you're
Yeah,
not getting no drink
Felicia,
at 5015 or nowhere like that.
I'm that old nigga buying drinks now.
Where you going? Cause I need a drink.
You got to be in your 20s or early 30s.
Uh-uh.
They always say once they get to 33, the drinks are no longer on me.
I believe you. Cause I'm trying to think when the men stop buying me drinks.
About that time,
Probably
well,
probably in
I'm not
my
saying men will ever stop. It depends on what the approach is and what they're trying to get out of you.
I don't think I've had a man that I did not know like offered to like buy me a drink, and I probably was in my 30s. I know in my 50s for sure no one has offered to buy me no drink.
KK, hold on. Wait a minute. Wait. So you telling me, so you must ain't just went to a random place like Papa Do's and just sat at the bar.
All the time.
And ain't no man said, baby, I got that for you. Let me get you a drink. What you drinking? No, you
Nada. No.
take it.
No.
Are you serious?
Now when I went to Jamaica and Aruba, oh baby, it was on then. I was like, what? Even my friends was getting drinks. They was like, I'm not mad at you, because they were getting drinks because men were sending me drinks in Aruba and in Jamaica. But here in Houston, please, I don't think a man has offered to buy me a drink since I was in my 30s. And it's cool. I'm not tripping on that because you don't have to do that. If I'm going somewhere, I'm going to take my own money. So I'm going to expect to buy my own food and my own drinks. I'm not expecting someone to to buy my stuff. So I don't want people to think that. But no one has offered. No.
So you married now, right?
Yes.
So you're telling me when you and your boo was maybe in the same spot, same club, he was like, baby, let me get you a drink. What you drinking?
Well, that's different because he asked me out. But we didn't meet in a club. So no, and we I don't think we've ever been to a club together. Have we been to a club? No, we've never been to a club together. So, but when we were dating, yeah, he's taken me out. He's bought me, of course, we went on a date and he paid for the food and drinks or movie or whatever, but no.
Which leads me to my last topic. Well, I got two topics left, but so when a man pays for a dinner, movie, and drinks, is that code for you gonna get some pussy tonight?
No, it's not.
Should a man really think in his mind, if I treat tonight, if I do all this for you financially tonight, are you gonna do something for me?
I honestly no. I don't think that that's something that a man should be having his head that okay, we're going out to eat, and if I buy this and blah blah blah, she knows she coming out. No, first of all, I don't know where it come from and why people are thinking that if she knew what she's getting into. No, that's fucked up right there. First of all, if you don't have the funds or the money to take somebody out to eat without expectations, then stay your ass at home and stop asking somebody out. Because just because you buy me a hamburger and some fries, that do not mean that I'm gonna sleep with you. So you're telling me that
Oh no
my
no
body,
no 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 no. You got it. No, wait.
I don't care if it's a steak and potatoes. I don't give a fuck what it is. It does not mean
No,
that I have to
but
sleep
here's
with
what I'm
you.
saying though, okay? Here's what I'm saying. You said a hamburger and fries. If I buy you a hamburger and fries, I probably just want some head. I don't think that I should just get the full blown pussy because I buy you a hamburger and fries. That's a hamburger and fries is literally just some head. If I take you to Steak 48,
No.
if I take you to Steak 48 and all these fancy steak houses, see, here go what my problem is. Why I have trouble dating. Because when I meet a woman and she started telling me, so I'm like, so what do you like to eat? Where do you like to go to eat? And she named every highfalutin restaurant in the city of Houston. I'm thinking in my mind, honestly, like on some real shit, this is what I'm thinking. Bitch, you won't even get a motherfucking wing dinner from me. You done named Steak 48, Del Frisco. You don't buy that for yourself. Ain't nobody on this live every weekend going eating at all the high price restaurants in Houston.
But why
Come
you
on.
have to take her there? Why do you have to go there though?
So why did she pick those when I say where do you like to go eat?
Well, you should say what type of food do you like to eat? Do you like seafood? You like barbecue? You like Mexican? And then you pick the place based off of what your funds will allow. Stop asking women where they want to go and then get mad when they tell you where they want to go.
No, I'm just asking what do you like? Like what do you like to eat? Where do you like to eat? What's a nice restaurant that you like to go to? What's wrong with Burger Park? What's wrong with Timmy Chan? We're gonna get full. We're gonna get the look. Our turd when we shit after we eat ain't gonna change form because we go to Del Frisco's. It's gonna be the same turd that this Timmy Chan's gonna put out your ass. So come on now.
Well, for me, I'm a foodie, so I like any type of food. I'm not picky about it or whatever. But when I was dating, the problem that I had was that men would ask, "Where do you want to go to eat?" Well, for me, I didn't like that question. I want you to take me where you want to take me. Because I can take myself to Steak 48. I can take myself to Papa Do's. Those, to me, that's like an I can just go there for happy hour. It's not one of those only special occasion type of restaurants for me. So if I tell you that's where I want to go, and you're like, "Oh, this bitch is crazy. She want me to take her to Steak 48." I can take myself to Steak 48, but don't ask me where I want to go, and then you're going to put stipulations on it. Take me where you want to take me, where your budget allows you to take me. If I say I like steak, you can't take me to Steak 48, then we can go to what's that Outback Steakhouse shit, for all I care. But just because you do take me out does
Longhorn.
not mean that I have to come out the draws because you took me out to eat.
I'm just saying, like, I do believe though, seriously. Like I'm just joking, but I do believe when a man spends a certain amount of money in his mind, I think it depends on the woman and the relationship between him and the woman on what he's expecting, on what he's trying to accomplish. Because if it's somebody for me, and I'm speaking for me, if I really cut for, if I really cut for, the money really doesn't matter. Like where we go eat really don't matter to me.
True.
Yeah, I promise it really, really doesn't because financially I can afford to take you on the regular to those places. Am I going to? No, probably not. But yes, I can afford to. I make enough salary that I can afford to for a nice meal like that. And there's nothing I don't see an issue with doing it maybe once or a couple of times a month if y'all truly cut for each other.
Right. And there's nothing wrong with that. But stop dating or going out with someone with and putting expectations on it. If you just can't go because we're just genuinely going, you want to take me out, we're having conversation, you're getting to know me, you want to take me on a date, then that's one thing. But if when you have the intentions where or expectations where if I take her out to eat, she gonna have to have sex with me because I took her out to eat. That's what I have a problem with right there. Always expecting something in return. It's just a date.
Yeah, but I do think, and you got to be honest with me on this one. I do think a woman knows even before that point, before y'all even go to a restaurant or go on a date, a woman know if she gonna sleep with you or not.
That's
I
true.
and this is what I tell my coworkers, the younger guys who work with me. I'm like, look, there's only one thing you can do And that's talk yourself out the coochie. Because she already know if she gonna give it to you, but you can get to running your mouth too much and talk your way out. You'll never talk your way into her panties. You can talk your way out of her panties by
Mhm.
revealing too much or saying a lot of the wrong shit. So a friend of mine was saying a guy who she been knowing forever, but they never really like hooked up like that. But he was kind of feeling her, but he was divulging a lot of personal information about his previous kids and previous relationships and how this baby was this, but it totally turned her off in the moment. Like, why are you discussing your personal business with somebody in your first or second conversation on the phone with them? So what he really did was establish a barrier between the two of them because now she's turned off by the conversation
Right.
more so than she's turned on.
Right. I
So
get it. And I agree. And we know right then and there.
so y'all know about them polyamorous.
See, there you go. There you go.
So do you have an issue with older men dating younger women? So what if your daughter, okay, your daughter go off to college. You already said she's a little naive. Your daughter come home from school. How old can't that man be that she meets off campus? When she come home at Thanksgiving, Mom, I want y'all to meet my friend. How old can he not be?
I think, let's see, she'll be 18 when she goes to college. So I would say 25 and younger is fine with me. I might be okay with 26, but I think 27 and on up would be just too old. But it also depends on the little boy or the whoever. I would have to meet him. I'm not gonna just say based on age alone because there's some 20 something year olds that are immature and there's some that are too mature. So I don't know. I would have to meet the little boy first
But but
before
what
before
but what you are saying is that your daughter can't come home.
I ain't say can't. I would question it, but
Hold on, let me finish my statement. Your daughter can't come home at Thanksgiving for Thanksgiving dinner and bring her 35-year-old boyfriend.
well, I'm not gonna tell her she can't come home, but if she showed up with a 35-year-old man, then yeah, she know me. She know her mama, and she know there's gonna be some questions and some grilling because I want to know why this what you at 35-year-old one with a 18-year-old.
You know that answer.
So I'm gonna have some questions for sure about that. Yeah. I mean, that's just like I'm only what 51. What if I wanted to date someone that was 85 years old? Are his kids gonna question me like, why are you with this 80 something year old man? Yes, they will. And then the
But
same
no,
thing
no, no,
yeah, they
no.
will. And then if I bring someone home that's my son's age, like my son will be 28 this year. If I bring somebody home that's 28, his mama gonna be questioning me like, why are you with someone the same age as your son?
Now I can agree with that because so let me tell you this story real quick.
Who daughter you didn't mess with?
No, so I'm 18 years old in college
Oh Lord.
playing, and I think I might have been 19 or 20 at the time, but there was a 37-year-old woman who lived in Lubbock in the city where I was attending school. I met her in a nightclub called Crystals. This woman raped me at 19, 20 years old. And I mean literally raped me. So let me tell you what happened. So
Wait,
she had a
time out.
young
Hold up. Because that's a serious accusation. So when you say rape, that means she
no,
took you
yes,
without your consent and
without my
pulled
consent.
down your pants
Pulled down my
and
pants.
made you have sex with her while you were saying no, stop.
It wasn't sex. She gave me head.
And you tried to get away, push her out the way, and everything. And you kept saying, no, I don't want to.
Very much so unwillingly.
You
I,
the
no,
goddamn lie.
no. Look, right? I promise. It was so horrible. I called my mama the next morning. I promise to God, I called my mama the next morning and told my mama what this lady did to me. And she said, son, don't go back to that nightclub. And if you are on campus or if you go get something to eat and y'all see her and she say something to you, let me know. I'm coming to Lubbock to whoop that bitch ass. That's what my mama said.
I would have been in the car that same day you called me. I would have been on my way.
Okay, this woman held me against the wall, put her forearm to my stomach, unzipped my pants, tackled me on the ground when I tried to move, put my piece in her mouth, and literally was sucking so hard, I know I had to be not coming, but bleeding in her mouth, literally. She was trying to suck my thing just that hard. And I'm only 19 or 20 years old. I hadn't even had much head in my life at that point because I'm coming out of high school. Wasn't no black girls at Sterling giving no head. I'm just saying. At my high school, black girls didn't do that. You nasty as hell if you sucking somebody's thing in high school. I didn't actually even get head until I went away to school and then came back home from somebody here. I didn't get no run, love. I'm just saying.
How old are you?
54 now. I turned 54 2 weeks ago.
You were at Sterling when one of my best friends were there.
Was she giving head?
I don't know. I
What's
didn't
her
know her when
name?
I was in high school. Kimberly
Kimberly who?
Thomas.
I don't know her.
Because y'all about the, I think y'all the same age.
She talking about, I can't believe you told your mama. Hey, I was scared. Like, so literally, I wish my college roommate could come on here and tell this story. Literally, for about 3 months, she was calling our room, our dorm room, and I'd be like, bro, I ain't here because we had no cell phones back then. She'd be like, bro, every time she called, bro, tell her I'm not here. Tell her I'm not here. This happened for about 3 or 4 till she finally just went away. Then watch the irony in this. Watch the irony in this. So I played at Texas Tech, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in December of 1988, we went to Tokyo, Japan to play in the Coca-Cola Bowl. This same lady that was lived in Lubbock had married an assistant football coach at Oklahoma State. And she was there with him in Tokyo, Japan. She had married a football coach at Oklahoma State. So we leaving. So we flew from here, from Lubbock to DFW. So Oklahoma State flew from Stillwater to DFW. So we were in the airport together.
Did you speak to her?
For the longest, I didn't want no oral sex. I didn't want to have, I couldn't even enjoy it when women would do it for like years. And I'm serious about that. For years, I couldn't because I was traumatized mentally from what this woman did to me. I literally was traumatized. I had PTSD, post traumatic PTDS, post traumatic dick sucking disorder. Yeah, I was like, I promise, I was like not wanting that at all. I would have girls who wanted to try to do it to me, and I'd be like, nah, I'm just don't worry about it.
Wait, can you hear me?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I think, yeah, I can now.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'm sorry that happened to you. Is the statute of limitations over with?
They have a Me Too moment.
Hey, for rape, is there a statute of limitations for rape?
It's a Me Too. You can say Me Too.
Hold on, they say my mic is messed up.
Oh, see, I thought it was mine. That's why I came off of my headphones.
No, that shit's fine. I'm good.
I'm sitting in the car. My daughter had they had a showcase, and I watched her perform, and then I came to sit in the car.
What about this? Is this better?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can go ahead and find her on Facebook and tell her what she did to you and
I
how she
will
made
not.
you feel and how she messed with your self esteem and how you had to go to therapy and how it affected your life.
I didn't have to go to therapy, but I was traumatized for real for a long time.
I'm just messing with you.
No, so I know how people feel like women who are actually raped. I imagine how traumatizing that situation is. I really can because I promise for the longest time, I did not want a woman to go down on me and try to give me head because I was so gun shy about this other lady had done. And so I told my brother, and my brother was like, man, that ain't cool because when a man climaxes, or if he hadn't, if she was really like sucking that hard to where it was painful, could have been pulling blood from your system. Like she really could have. But yeah, no, I was, I, I'm laughing now, but I was literally messed up by that a long time for real.
Oh, oh, thing. Hey, before we end, it's something I wanted to bring up because when I was watching your one of your shows, I don't know if it was last week or the week before last, you all were talking about um
Nurturing.
no, you were talking about dating and I think the girl code and if there's a girl code or a guy code and about who you can date and who you cannot date and who you shouldn't date if they dated your friend or whatever. And I believe what the young lady that was on was talking about she dated somebody or somebody dated somebody back in middle school or some crap and then years later her friend met him and then she dated him and then they stopped dating and then he tried to date her again and she decided to give him another chance and then the other friend was mad even though she was married or engaged or dating somebody else. I was like, what?
So
First of all,
is there a girl code?
to a certain point, but not that point. Not that point. Because like if you have a true friend, like your girls, right? They know who to fool with and who not to fool with. They know who you are active donkey of and who's off limits. Your true friends, right? They know that. Now, if it's I've dated guys who I'm friends with, who I've tried to introduce to my friends. I've dated guys that my friends really didn't know about, and then come to find out he done met one of my friends, and now she's dating him, and one of our other mutual friends. So Kay used to go out with him, and I'm like, for real? And they'll call me and they say, hey, I met this guy. His name is such and such. I'm like, oh yeah, I used to date him, and I'm like, are you okay? Girl, that was a long time ago. I don't
Okay, so
care
let me
about that stuff.
okay, so let me ask you this, Kay. When women use the term date, are we saying just strictly date? Or are we saying this is somebody who you've slept with, been intimate with, and you're okay because it's been such a long time? If she want him, she can have him. Or are we
You
just
can
saying
use
date? Go on a
you
date.
can use whatever terminology you want to use. Date, slept with, went on vacation with, whatever. If he was not my man, he don't belong to me. I can't have no claims on him. We were not in a relationship. Of I can count on my hand right now with my husband being one of them, and um my oldest son's father, and maybe one other guy that I was like absolutely just crazy about, who I would say would be off limits to my closest friends right now, like if I were to get divorced or whatever. But anybody else, I don't give a fuck about them. I don't care. If I dated them, if I slept with them, if we dated 2 years, I don't care. That's in my past. I'm not gonna tell you or block your blessings because it didn't work out for me and this dude, but it might work out for you and him. So long as this was the deal and you don't have a problem with it, then I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah,
I don't care.
so the girl who I was referring to, she came on here last week and was like, "Yeah, I said it and I meant it." Because so here's the full gamut of what happened. So the young lady, when I got divorced, me and my ex-wife sold our house. She was the realtor that we used to sell our house. Well, my ex-wife met her through her niece because she also was a school teacher. But we continued to communicate and also became friends on Facebook. So after being friends, after going back and forth, conversating a few times, excuse me, she having certain events, invite me to the events. I never went, but she did invite. And it could have been just a general invitation, but she did extend it to me. Shit, I was like, hey, let's go to. She was like, I can't do that. I can't break the girl code. Ain't no girl code. My ex-wife don't give it. My ex-wife swear I don't even know her like that. So it's like in that situation, I personally don't think it was a girl code. And she just came to my party a couple of weeks ago. She was at the party.
Yeah. I mean, if these are my good girlfriends, like people I talk to and I see them all the time and we share things with, and I run into one of their exes. One, if he approaches me, I'm not just gonna be giving this man my phone number, especially if I knew he was in whatever type of situationship he was with my friend. If that is my true girlfriend, one, I'm gonna let her know. I'm going to call her, and I've done it before. My friends will tell you in a minute. You can try. She will tell it in a minute. I've called from the in the middle of a club somewhere when one of my friends, guy friends, tried to talk to me, and I told on him. So
So hold
I'm
on,
that.
hold on. Funny you say that about being in the middle of a club. So I didn't know that these people were that cool. And so I'm hollering at the friend, and she was like, "You used to mess with my friend." I was like, "Who's your friend?" And she told me who the friend was. I was like, "Oh yeah, 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 yeah. It's all good though." And so she called a friend and say, "Girl, guess who in here trying to talk to me?" And she told girl Kevin Walker, and she had the phone on speaker. She was like, "Shit, girl, fuck him. He got." So she gave her the go ahead and how she felt about the sex. So she was like, "Oh, okay, okay." So sometimes as girlfriends, y'all get a go ahead too.
I've given the go ahead before. I've given the go ahead before. I remember I was dealing with this guy. We were not never in no relationship. We were in situationship, and for years, and that was just our thing. And it wasn't never no. I'm trying to be with you. You trying to be with me. That was just our thing. We just hooked up whenever we wanted to. We ain't asked no questions. I didn't care who he dated or if he was or nothing. We didn't ask those things. It was what it was. So one of my good friends, she knew of him because he would be out with us sometimes. Well, one particular night, she was out with a coworker friend of hers. He came in there, he saw her, he bought her and her friend a drink, introduced himself, and he went on about his business. The girl said, "Who is that? Who is that guy?" And she was like, "Oh, that's such and such. He's friends with my friend. You probably don't remember her, but you met her once or twice or whatever." And the girl was like, "Oh, okay, cool." Well, she went to the restroom per se, ran up into him again, and gave her his phone number. I mean, gave him her phone number. They had started talking on the phone or whatever, right? He told me about it. He said when the next time I talked to him, because we didn't talk all the time. The next time I talked to him, he said, "Yeah, I ran into such and such at the club or whatever. I bought her and a friend a drink." He said, "As a matter of fact, a friend gave me her phone number." I was like, "Oh, okay. What's the friend's name?" And he told me, and I said, "Oh, I think I met her before, but I don't really know her." And that was the end of that. I don't know. I didn't ask him like, "Y'all going out?" Anything like that. So fast forward, she tells my girlfriend, "Oh yeah, I've been going out with that guy. Gave him my number that night." She's like, "What? When that happened?" So now she getting all the tea. So she eventually calls me and say, "My coworker, she's been going out. They've been going out on dates and blah 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 blah." I was like, "Oh, I don't care. No big deal. I don't know the girl. She don't know me. She don't owe me nothing. Whatever."
They said,
Okay.
did she give him the juice box?
I don't know, but my girlfriend had a birthday party. We both were there. She and I, the new friend, we both were there. Party was winding down. We're cleaning up. We're sitting around drinking, talking or whatever. She says, "Okay, I know you don't know me or anything, but I feel like, I owe you this much. I don't know if Kim told you or not, but I met such and such, and we've been going out, and I want to make sure that you're okay with it." And I'm like, "I don't care what you do. He ain't my man. He can go out with who he want to go with. You don't owe me anything." And then I said, "He told me." She's like, "He told you?" "Yeah, he told me." "Well, when did you talk to him?" I said, "Well, the last time I talked to him was yesterday, but he told me this weeks ago." And she was like, "Oh, so y'all still talk on the phone?" I'm like, "Yeah, he's my friend." She was like, Immediately she got defensive because she thought in her mind that he wasn't going to be talking to me anymore because now she's going out with him. So
So
then
what if she would have said? So,
she said, "So that I've been going out with him and you're still choosing to see him and be his friend?" I was like, "Well, I'm not supposed to. I don't know you. You don't know me. You're not my friend." So she was like,
and I know you said that too.
and I was like, "I'm glad you felt like you needed to explain that to me or tell me or whatever, but you don't need my permission to date him or see him or whatever it is y'all doing. And I don't need your permission to still see him. Y'all can do whatever it is that y'all doing." I was like, "Are y'all in a relationship? Are y'all just seeing each other? Have y'all had a conversation where y'all are exclusive and y'all just dating one another?" She was like, "Well, no, but what does that have to do with anything?" It has a lot to do with anything because he's not yours. He don't belong to you. He's free to do whatever he wants to do. And if that means me and I still want to see him, then I'm gonna see him. As long as you okay with it. What you want me to do about it? I sure did.
So what if she would have said, he really likes you. He told me how good you were in bed. So I was wanting to know if you'd be interested in a threesome with us.
Nigga, don't even try. Go somewhere with that shit.
Hey, that's how it got brought to me. That's how it
No,
got brought to me. My friend said.
I'm not doing none of that.
Oh
No,
yeah,
that's
I was
not.
like, yeah, cool. She had set it up, make it out.
The thing of it was he and I we're friends till this day, and we're none of that stuff in the past happens now. But we're cool. We're cordial. If I see him, he speaks or whatever. But I don't care what he does. He was never my man. I never had no claims on him. We did what we did. It was what it was, and that was it. And even after he told me that they had been going out or they went out a few times, we still had not been together that way. But my thing was, if I wanted to, it's my choice, and I could if I wanted to because I don't owe you anything.
Well, this girl told me basically the same situation, but she said her sister had been peeping through the door when we had sex, and she want to know if she can join in.
Okay, Swarm. Is this some Swarm stuff? Did you
No,
see
I
that
mean,
movie Swarm? Did you see that movie Swarm?
no, I didn't.
Oh, you got to go watch Swarm.
But yeah, I was like, yeah, shit, I ain't tripping if you ain't tripping. It's your sister. If you want your sister to come in here and get beat up too, she wasn't my gal. Somebody I would stop by every blue moon and knock down. She said her sister had been looking through the door every time we do it, and her sister wanted to come in and get down with it. I was like, shit, that's on you. Like, I ain't tripping.
I'm not interested in nothing like that. I'm not
You know,
sharing.
I
I'm
was
not
young.
doing
I was in my late 20s, early 30s.
This is after you got raped.
Years on top of years later.
So you was over that by then. You had got over your phobia by then.
No, I really had got over it.
So now you just a straight hoe now.
At that point, yeah, she made me that way, though. She made me that way.
Whatever.
Hey, y'all for watching. This has been my hour. Look, next week, guys. Next week, the show gonna be on a totally different level next week. I'm gonna have my good friend Pastor Sean Wilburn. We're gonna address a lot of situations next week. We want this to be as interactive as possible. Come with your question, your points, your views. I'm gonna start posting from now till next Wednesday because it's gonna be pretty litty with Pastor Wilburn. He one of the real pastors out there.
Oh,
That's
don't
not
include
afraid.
me in no show with no pastor because I have no filter and y'all gonna have to have some holy water on deck on duty for me to be on. So I'm just watch. I'm gonna skip out because I don't want to block my blessing getting into heaven.
And he ain't gonna block his either, but no, it'll be fun next Wednesday with Pastor Wilburn. Hey, thank y'all for watching. That's my girl Carmencita K. Williams right here on the screen with us. Thank you for joining us, KK. I'm Kevin Walker. What he said with Kevin Walker, fame, fortune, love, peace, and goodbye.
Bye.